This is VRoc. 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 Chops. This is VRoc. Chops.
Welcome back, Chop Nation. We back with another one. We got Miss Kayla. Well, you know, it's WCW, not Women Crush Wednesday, but Women Chop Wednesday. I got it right this time. We back with my girl Kayla Poindexter, all the way from Memphis, Tennessee. So put your hands together. Give me a drum roll song. Play something. All right, what's up, girl? How you doing?
Chops.
I'm good, bro. I'm honest to just be on your show, honestly.
I appreciate you coming. I'm honored to have you. Definitely. Everybody. I'm honored for everybody. Because you ain't got to do it, but you did. It's like they say, people ain't got to be nice. And then if they are nice, they ain't got to be nice to you. So it's the same thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Exactly.
It's all good. So cool. We're going to jump right on in. Start with these same old standard questions. First question would be, what high school did you attend? And if you attended college, for the people that don't know, what college did you attend?
I actually attended two high schools. First, I went to Kirby when JT3 was there. Who don't know JT3? James Thomas III. Then I transferred to
Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this. Look at this.
Fairleigh.
Got him. Got him.
Let me make this clear. I went to Fairleigh before he went there. I heard those rumors. You followed him? No, I was there first.
And I am the originator.
Then
He followed you.
came. So let me clear it up now. And I did attend Jackson State University. Let me correct that. I'm attending Jackson State University. The Jackson State University.
What? You understand what I'm saying?
So Kayla, you got a double whammy on your hands. You went to Fairleigh and Jackson State. State, Jackson State. You went to both of them schools. Both of the schools I don't like at all.
We all
Don't like y'all at all. I want y'all to listen, feel it from here. Now I'm just playing. I like y'all. I respect y'all. Most definitely respect y'all. But yeah, that's what's up. Jackson State again for the what's this episode 15. If it's 15 episodes, it's been 8 Jackson Staters. So hey,
you know what's going on. WT all day, all day.
I can't fuss too much. You guys I'm building my brand off the back of Jackson State. I might as well use it for something.
Psych!
Why you always lying?
I'm just playing.
I'll tell too much.
Not at all. This is all me.
You gonna learn today.
No Jackson State. But it's all good. So South Fair backyard and old Jackson State. That's what's up. Cool. So what is your favorite drum rudiment and why do you consider that to be your favorite?
I would have to say the very first one that I learned, which a lot of people that was stating on your series, which is paradiddle.
Yeah.
It's very easy to learn. And it's so simple that it's ridiculous. You can do so much with it. It's the simplest, but you got some people who don't know nothing about a paradiddle. I love my LB to this day, but I ain't gonna speak on his name. But you got some that don't know how to play a paradiddle, but that's my favorite paradiddle.
Not knowing how to play a parody is almost just like no, not.
Nếu mà tao vào về bùi on the video, coi về rồi, rồi thấy mày xem không vào về bùi trái.
Fix that. Not knowing how to play a paradiddle is equivalent to not knowing how to say the word the, because that is pretty much the same. I'm gonna have to do something about that one. I got tongue tied trying to talk crazy.
Đi đâu về? Now we like kind of fuck all we go. That way like a book call at my back.
God don't like ugly. You see that?
He showed out. You better recognize.
Yeah, I gotta do right. God, I'm sorry, God. Okay, cool. So what was that moment for you when you knew that you wanted to be, play drums, play percussion? What was that when that light bulb go off for you, saying like, this is what I want to do?
I actually have two. A lot of people don't know that I play the drum set. I want to say I was 12. I went to Mount Zion Baptist Church over on Parkway. And there was a drummer there. He's a frat brother in Arkansas. I used to love watching him play. And I was like, okay, I want to do that. Like, I want to do that. I have yet to see Sheila E. I have yet to see a female in Memphis play drums. And I used to just watch him play drums. I just learned by watching him. As far as band is concerned, I would have to say something is telling me drumline. I don't want to say drumline.
If you do, it's okay. I promise it is, because I was having this conversation with Mr. Jefferson, but go ahead.
I want to say drumline, even though that is the most horrible reason to go to college for band, but I want to say drumline. I want to say, because that's how I picked my very first drum. So I want to say,
yeah, I'm gonna let you have that one, because I'm gonna let you have that one. Yeah, man, Miss Jefferson, we was talking about that yesterday. Drumline it served a big purpose. For a lot of people, man, a lot of people have used, especially like around your time period. A lot of those people, they said the movie Drumline was very influential in them getting into bands. So shout out to the people that did the first Drumline. No hating on the second one. It just wasn't my preference.
The first one got a lot of Fred in it. Easy Fuzzy in there. Easy Fuzzy, a lot of Fred.
Okay. Shout out to y'all. Cool. So we're gonna move to the next one. What's one of your favorite memories from playing drums? Like, what's your favorite memory that you can recall?
In general, because if you're speaking in general, I got quite a few.
As far as drums, playing, being a part of something. Yeah.
Because I've been a part of a lot of organizations. Well, I take the bet. Out of the three that I've been a part of, I would have to say, starting from Fairleigh, when I finally got to go to my first Fairleigh and Whitehaven showdown, that's when Shaq was still there. And I didn't know how big that showdown was until the actual week of we were having pregnant, and Mr. County to just be like, they not playing that with y'all. I was like, okay, is it this serious? Like, it's just a showdown. And like when I got there, I was like, okay, it's just that serious. Like, I'm like Pops, Shaq, Mickey, everybody, because I'm the new kid in town. I don't know what's going on. I've been at Kirby. We was just
anybody think about Kirby? Yes.
We was just in the midst. So my first Fairleigh and Whitehaven showdown, 2012, when we got to play with Jackson State in the parade formation, I would never forget that. Treat us like we was just the paper that you throw in the trash can. I can't, y'all get over there, we get over here, y'all not doing your time. I was like, I don't really care. I'm playing with Jackson State right now. I don't care.
Yeah.
That was one. And my first game playing with Jackson State and Mississippi State. Even though I knew so much, excuse my language, I sold that whole game up. The whole beginning portion of the game, my section was like, what are you doing? I was like, look, man, I'm in the uniform. I ain't in the drum room. I'm nervous. I ain't never been nervous in my life. Like, that was so crazy. Like, Jesus.
Yeah. It be like that sometimes. It be like that sometimes. Yeah, that Whitehaven Fairly. A lot of people that's not in it and then grow up in it for real.
They don't know.
They don't understand.
It's serious. Like that moment within itself is serious. And
Yeah,
like the final was when y'all had y'all battle of drummers. Jackson State came to play. That's when I had just recently transitioned over. And that was my first time playing a part of this.
That's what's up, man. I'm glad I can help you make a memory. You know what I'm saying? Like we say, them showdowns was nice. Them jumps was intense. They were good all the way. They've always been good. Especially because y'all used to get drugged through them jumps yearly.
I have to disagree with you on that one, my brother. I have to disagree with you on that one.
Oh, you can disagree all you want to, but the facts are Whitehaven
Yeah.
drugged fairly through these showdowns every year.
Ain't that right? He ain't lying.
From the year we were founded in 1911. If we had a band in 1911, Fairly had a school, y'all got drugged then.
As stated, and I learned this from experience. As Mr. Campbell's would always say, y'all may have the sound. You got the sound. But when it comes to technicality and watch the face.
Are you serious?
Watch the face. What you may have the sound.
You said come technicalities for Whitehaven? The 4-time national champs? You don't win that without
nothing. That don't mean nothing. Nothing. Y'all was the only band from Memphis there.
We need to move Lonzo.
That ain't no problem.
Huh?
That ain't no problem.
What does that mean? What that mean?
Everybody know how Memphis come when it comes down to band battles. Everybody know that.
Why you always lying?
Let's just keep it 1,000.
Okay. Cool. Well, we in Memphis in the battle, but we went 13 years without losing the event in Memphis.
Like I see.
Okay, we're good. We're gonna move on. We're gonna cause
I'm going there with you. You ain't gonna
this can go all day.
And you
Why
know
it can go all? You know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put one together when it's just Whitehaven Fair and we just talk noise. That's gonna be good, and you gonna be on it, and we gonna talk. It's gonna be a good one.
Get your popcorn ready.
I might bring some horn players on this one, but nah.
Let's go.
Shout out to Fairly, man. You're gonna get y'all, y'all helped us, iron sharpens iron, and our knife was always a little bit sharper, so appreciate it. I'm gonna ask you this last question. I'm just messing with you. What is your biggest takeaway that you have taken from playing drums, being a percussionist, and apply it to your everyday life and what you do now going forward and giving back and all this stuff?
I learned a lot from being at Jackson State. Most importantly, being humble. Being a part of any sport, anything, especially you have to be humble. Dealing with anything in life, you have to be humble. Working is one. And to practice to get to where you want to be. If you don't do those 3 things, if you don't work as a team with your whole group, if y'all not focused on trying to remain humble through whatever you're going through, and practicing, everything you worked hard for over the years is just out the window. It's out the window. I have taught so many middle school percussion sections, not even just middle school kids that's in the middle school age range. I have taught them so much because I did not know that they paid attention to me. That, you know, my main biggest things were, okay, I know you like band, stay in school. Stay in school. Make sure you practice. I know you see what you see on YouTube and Facebook. None of that is possible if we don't practice. You have to practice.
Yeah.
You have to practice.
Yeah, you hit a very good point when you said they looking at you. Like I've always used that as an example. There's always somebody watching, whether you see them or not. Like it's always somebody watching. Just the little things, because I was once that kid looking up to other people. So yeah, I always got to put that out there. You got to always conduct yourself a certain way because you got eyes on you. You don't know who you go impact. So cool.
Even when you're not doing band stuff, they watching. So
exactly. They watching, probably watching that more now than anything. Seeing how you do outside of playing, because there's so many influences out there. So, all right, so let's start at the beginning again. So you went to Kirby, started out at Kirby. Fun fact: my wife went to Kirby. I remind her of that daily. That she married.
You gonna learn today.
So yeah, so went to Kirby High School. With Mr. Old James Snoop Thomas. So what middle school? You went to Kirby Middle also?
I did. I went to Kirby Middle.
Or did you start playing and you started in high school, or did you start before high school?
I actually started at Kirby Middle I want to say 7th grade year. It was 7th grade year, and I told the band, I was like, look, I want to be in the band. He was like, pick what you want to play. I was like, I can't play no horn. I don't want no big lips and smell like metal.
Yeah.
So bass drum hurt my back. They had downrights at Kirby Middle. I didn't want to do that. I was like, okay. We didn't have cymbals at that time. Not that I can remember. I can't remember. I don't know. I can't remember if we had cymbals or not, but we had 2 snares. One that sounded ugly and one that sounded good. You always had those 2 in the middle school. You got a good one and you got a bad one. Yeah. I chose the good one, period. You got to be messed up. So that's when I first got on snare. And he gave me a rooting book.
Cool. So how did you transition over to cymbals?
Oh my goodness. There was a good group. I want to say it was 4 of them. Quay Sean, free my brother always and forever. Kadeem, Joe Dorsey, who gets on my nerves always. And I want to say Leon was there. They used to always come up to Kirby Middle and, pick out the ones they want. I don't care what nobody say. Every high school person to middle school and do it. They pick out the ones they want for their. And when I finally got to Kirby, questions I always tell him and Joe, you're not playing snare. You don't look right. I ain't gonna lie. Holding the sticks is wrong as ever. But you think holding them right, but you holding them so right. I was like, man. Anyway, got to Kirby. Mr. Thomas put me on tenor drum. At that time, I was so small. We didn't have wood boards then. It was metal then. So metal and real cage don't mix.
Right.
So That was dead.
Yeah,
So Mr. Thomas was like, nah, put her on symbols. At that time, Crazy Steve was by himself. And he put me on symbols, and Steve taught me everything that I know.
Okay, cool. Shout out to Steve. I have to see him to know who he is, but shout out to him. Cool. Shout out to Kadeem. That's my little bro right there. That's my bro right there. He almost became never mind. He was almost one of my guys. Yeah, shout out to Dino. Cool. So, and you say you were little then. I can only imagine because you still little.
Exactly. So.
So we get to you hit Kirby, and you made a life decision to upgrade yourself from Kirby, but still a downgrade from Whitehaven. But you went to Fairleigh.
Got him.
What year did you transfer to Fairleigh?
You got jokes. That was 2011.
Okay.
2011.
So how was that time over at Fairleigh? What was that experience like?
It was actually crazy. When I first got there, a lot of people knew me as the drum major from Kirby.
Okay.
And they used to ask me, was I going to be the drum major with Mickey and Shaq? Because we did a performance together when I was at Kirby as drum majors. And I didn't want to be in the band. I'm not gonna lie, I did not take band serious. I didn't. I was just doing it just to have fun. Okay. And Mr. Camus was like, "You gonna be in the band? You gonna be in the band?" I was like, "Sir, with all due respect, I just want to graduate and just go on about my day." But I ended up talking to them, and I was like, "Okay, I give y'all one season, one. That was it. After that, there I was sitting in Fairleigh's band room at practice."
Yeah. So cool. So once you got in there, I'd say Fairleigh put that love of band, instilled that love of band. That's what's up, and that's what it's all about. Reach one it's good enough. If you can get one, you can do it enough. So yeah, cool. So what was so you went there in 2011. So I'm assuming what grade were you in when you transferred? 2011.
11th grade.
Oh, okay, your junior year. Okay, cool. So you got to do 2 years at old South Fairleigh, and like you said, you did the performance with Jackson State. That was a lot. Y'all did a lot of great stuff at Fairleigh. I ain't gonna front. Y'all did some good stuff outside of not beating what have y'all. Everything else is good.
I'm on fire! Bow, bow!
And then you transitioned on to Jackson State. What year did you go into Jackson State?
2012.
2012. Okay, what was that like? Let's talk about your time at Jackson State.
God bless them. During that time, everybody know what happened at Jackson State. So I came on the back end of trying to get everything together. Not take everything together as far as when hazing was actually put into play with how these new band people are. So we was going through transition phase for real. It was fun. It was definitely fun. Everything that Chop said on his episode is true. Just because you know somebody before you get to that college, that don't mean nothing. Before I even got there, they were calling me, telling me what to do, what not to do, go to class. Shaq, I love Shaq. Shaq is the person that made me. I would say that all day long. Shaq told me 25, wake up 25 when you gotta be. You need to be prepared mentally and physically when you get here. I was like, I don't want to go to college looking like you. like what? Like what? Because I wanted it, I did it. When I finally got there, they called me Lil Bow Wow for a reason. Little Bow Wow, you just don't know the way you move so fast across the floor. Cornrows to the back. I went that joint fully prepared. Like I was too prepared. Like no. I enjoyed my freshman year. If I could do it again, I'd do it over. That's because that's how much fun it was.
Yeah.
That I'd do it again. I love Jackson State. I
think most people would do it over. Do the first year over. the other side of it ain't, always pretty, but going back, and especially when you revisit it and you play it back in your head, man, you're gonna always be like, you know what? We had fun. This was that,
Yeah.
So so I mean, let's say, were you did you of course, well, we'll go back. We'll do that after Jackson. So in Jackson, you had the opportunity to lead the summer section at one point, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what year was that?
That was 2013.
Okay, so your second year in the band. Okay.
Basically.
Okay, I see you. Big dog, big dog. Go ahead, man.
Little pause, very little pause, very little pause. That was a lot.
Yeah. So what was your mindset as you were preparing to lead a group of guys, by you being, female? I don't know the history of Jackson, but I don't know how many women came before you. They led the section. Were you the first or top 3?
Now, I'm number 19 for the women of WT. So I am not the first woman section leader that I know of, but there are other women that did come through that played cymbals. Wise, I'm gonna be honest, I was nervous because I was just a toddler starting to walk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just getting the logistics, the deep, as they say, the meat and potatoes of getting to what it actually is, what you're supposed to be doing. I was so nervous. I did not want to let those before me down. Mm-hmm. And I tried my best to, keep the legacy going. I feel like I did, but they didn't come on until 2014. Mm-hmm. I love that class. But 2013, it was a struggle. I was by myself until the upperclassmen joined back in. Everybody don't know that story, but I'm not gonna speak on that. I was by myself. That was the weakest cymbal line I ever had. Mm-hmm. If you look at the beginning of the year in the band clips, that was horrible. It was horrible until the upperclassmen came back. It was horrible. Yeah. 2013 was not our year at all. Mm-hmm. But we held it down.
I held it down. And then I know, I think females that's in sections, especially ones that become leaders for the most part, they have the extra little edge to them that kind of that y'all turn up and can turn up and turn it on. And
we do.
especially small people, because we have small people syndrome. I'm big until I get around bigger people, and then I have small. So I know you were a little bit of Chihuahua, but I'm pretty sure you had a mean bark trying to get them folks together. And you gotta respect it, because like I say, a female and a male, I said this with Asia, a male dominated industry as far as pertaining to drums. Let me ask you this. Why don't you think, let me take that back, because like I said, I know up north they have a lot of females that play. I think when you were with Shaq, was he the only guy at one point? It was him and at Fairleigh. Was it him and just all the rest of them girls at one point, or was it another guy? I could be missed. I know y'all had quite a few females.
You mean at Fairleigh?
Huh?
You mean at Fairleigh?
Yeah, Fairleigh, yeah.
Yeah, he was the only one. It was me, him, Mickey, and Nicole. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. He probably would say that was probably his favorite cymbal section. You know what I'm saying? Dylan, I don't know, maybe. I'm assuming. I might be wrong.
It was mine until my senior year. Okay.
had that all young ladies playing cymbals. Like I said, like Oak Park, they came here with straight female ensembles. And
Mhm.
at one point, like even here at Whitehaven, I think the most we probably had at one point. I think we had three playing. This when I was in school. Shakaya, uh, she go by Suave now, and young lady. I think Nicole. Was Nicole that fairly with you?
She was there.
She started with us at Whitehaven, but I think I can't remember. I think she came after me. I can't remember, but it was three. I know Shakaya. We called her Suave. It was one more young lady. They came from Maceo, so we did have three playing with me at one point, but it wasn't a consistent thing. I got I probably maybe 10 girls from my time that I started at Whitehaven to where I actually, I'm talking about from like 2001 when I came in 8th grade to now, probably like 10 females. Why don't you think a lot of females jump into this, and why? What could be done to improve the amount of female percussion instructors out there? What you think can help kind of even that out?
So you think why don't females get into percussion mixes in general?
Right, yeah, that's my first question. Then my second one, what do you think could be like the biggest thing to try to improve the amount of women that are taking that over a whole percussion section? Because me personally, I've never seen a female percussion instructor. You know what I'm saying? Just me thinking off the top of my head. What's your view on it?
As far as females being in percussion section, a lot of females, from what I've experienced and seen, they lazy, lazy. And I can say that because I got lazy at one point in time at Jackson State, and Kadeem put me back in my place. We get lazy so quick. Like once we get tired, we tired.
Right.
We don't get it no more. But also because a lot of them don't want to be seen as too girly and too manly. When I first got in band at Kirby, I was a girl. A lot of people gonna be like, "What?" No, I was a girl. Like Sierra CC, we were girls. Like literally,
Yeah.
when Mr. Thomas was like, "Ain't no prissing over here. Y'all wanna be in a man section? You have to act the part, look the part. Woo, woo, woo." He the reason.
Yeah.
Ever since then, I ain't wore nails, makeup, nothing. I look like the boys because I want them to know, okay, I'm serious about what I do. Now, as time progresses, you got some people that turn on and turn it off. Mickey is a prime example of that. When we at practice, she don't care. When we at a performance, you're gonna see that she can still handle her business and she gonna be feminine with it. I respect Mickey for that. She tried to help me with that, but I couldn't do it. I was over it. I couldn't do it. I was like, look, I'm gonna be pressure out here.
Yeah.
That can't hold it down by itself. Somebody gotta help him out somewhere, you know. That's why they call me Mini Shake Attack. That's the reason why they call me that. Somebody had to live up that legacy once he graduated. But a lot of women, they don't know how to flip it on and flip it off. They don't know how to do that. Now, as far as a percussion instructor is concerned, I would have to say you have a lot to uphold because you got all these men, you know, that know a lot about percussion, the ins and outs, ups and downs. They know so much dealing with drums and the tuning and what it should sound like, this and that. Well, some of us would be like, okay, that sounds good. I like that. I heard this before. Yeah, keep that. With men, nah. I need to sound like this. So hit this little, just a little bit up. Turn just a little night. Yeah, that's the one. Like, hell no. If it sounds good, it's so good. That's enough for me right there.
Right. I like that. I like that comparison. That's very interesting. And that's dope. I like that. I feel it. I feel where you're coming from with that. Yeah. I can't say that. I like that. That was a good answer. You hit it, you kind of made it plain for me. From your point of view, it makes sense in a sense. So I really would like to see uh a female take over a section. I really would. It's just something that we got to vice president female vice president. So you got to have a higher tier. I could think of a couple of off the top of my head. I think the young lady Jazz from Texas, just about her playing, and what I've observed from her on the internet, like she looked like she's a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like she can handle it. I think she can handle it.
I mean, I can say I tried. I was at a middle school in South Memphis.
Oh, okay.
And he left the school, so I wasn't able to fulfill that.
I think you can handle it too, though. Honestly, just because just observing. I'm very observant. I watch and I hear a lot of stuff. I just don't act or respond to everything I hear. But I think you can handle it.
I understand it.
Yeah, I think
I understand it.
you can handle it. Cool. So,
Nigga, train for man. Oh, God. Go on. Bud Light. Bud Light. Bud Light.
Jackson State thing, what was your first classic like? You from Memphis, so you can't not say. I'm not gonna allow you to say you didn't enjoy the Southern Heritage Classic. So what was your first classic like?
The very first one, I'm gonna speak the truth on this one. My freshman year, I didn't get the march because my section leader, who they call Swiping No Swiping, was being so petty, and I hate that Shaq wasn't there then. I was so mad when he left. He was being so petty. He was like, because you're from Memphis, I'm not gonna let you march the first Southern Harris Classic game, little girl. I was like, you childish bastard. I was like, bro, he's so childish. I didn't get to have my first Southern Heritage experience. Now, the second one, I don't even remember 2013, but 2014,
Yeah.
we was on y'all. I ain't gonna say the word because but no, you gonna bleep it out. We was on y'all.
I guess. Who was y'all? Who was y'all? Texas Southern. Texas Southern.
What age you call y'all? State University.
Oh, no, I don't know about all that. You said what year was this?
2014.
14. I mean, Kyra
14.
had the section again. Nah, I'm sorry. Y'all was getting it. Y'all getting that bid.
Okay.
I'll pull the film. I'll go watch the film and see what is up. And if y'all got it, I won't say it, but I know it here.
It happens to the best of us. It's okay. It's okay.
A lie detector test determined that was a lie.
It's okay.
Y'all quite a bit. It's all good.
It's okay. It's okay.
So yeah, that's what's up though. And yeah, shout out, not shout out, and whoever that sexually was at Jackson State, that's why I don't mess with Jackson State because y'all hate on Memphis people.
Psych!
That's what I'm telling you. But nah, I'm just playing. It's all good. So let's talk about this. You were very, very influential. Influential, yeah, that's a good word. I be trying to use big words like intelligent and stuff. But them just don't be paying that all the time. You had a very good influence in Memphis with the Memphis Mass Band. What was that experience like? Because actually, Miko actually just made a post about it. Like Memphis people don't get the credit, or Memphis, not people, but Memphis don't get the credit for the influence on that they've put in the percussion world, which is I think is very true because
Very true.
a lot of states have adopted this style, and including I'm gonna say it, including Jackson State a little bit. It's a mixture. Jackson State and what Memphis style is a hybrid of Tennessee State and Jackson State, in my opinion.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Both of those schools come together. Shout out to Fred Jones, the founder of the class. That's what made this. But what was that experience like? Because I've seen honestly, a lot of mass band groups. I'm not knocking nobody for want to, get better or enhance their sound, but a lot of people have inherited that style, especially in the mass band scene. So, what was that experience like? During your tenure playing and being around them.
It was. I can't say challenging. It was challenging. It was very eye-opening. I noticed that when I first got there, it was a lot of kids that wanted to do it because they saw it was people from different colleges coming in the section and putting their input on cadences that were made or pieces of style that was being put into the section. If you notice, with our percussion section, we try not to use Jackson State, Tennessee State, Texas Southern. We got so many people from Memphis that have branched out to different universities. We decided, I said that back, chop and pop. From my understanding, they made this to do Memphis. They wanted to do something that was Memphis and not some other university. And I respect them for that. With the mass situation, those kids, they come to us and they watch us. Like I stated at first, they watch what we're doing, how we're playing. If we see them doing something wrong, nah, baby, you're doing it wrong. This is how you choke. This is how you do your exits. When we say this and that, this is what we mean. Y'all sitting here playing like how y'all did in middle school, everything just loud and uncontrollable. Bring all that down. Humble yourself. Let me show you how it's done. Mass band is a simple way to show these kids who's going to high school or who's new to band. It's like a training session before you get to where you actually want to go. And I respect it because I learned different flashes, different techniques that I learned from doing mass band and brought it back with me to Jackson. I'm not gonna lie about that. I even brought some stuff from Jackson and brought it to Memphis to put the input on it to help a rising culture as far as band is concerned. So it's all about give and take. Nothing is personal.
Yeah, nothing personal. I know for me personally, I because I didn't, like a lot of people, not a lot of people, but the people associated with management, they really, hone in on that. I grew up with the Memphis All Star alumni band, and for me, like I said, you mentioned and you said you see all these people from different places, and you get to be around them. That was a big thing for me, but I during my time, it's more like we had to work towards that. Although life has evolved and resources are different. Like I was speaking with one of the coach. His name is Coach Collins. Who's a principal here, but he's a families engagement specialist here in Ohio. And we were talking about. He like, man, I remember when I was in school. I had to go actually to the library and get my research and do this and do that and do this. And he said, well, now the kids just it's in the computer. And so that's kind of how the man's been seen is now. All the resources that I used to search for is already there. You can just go to Mass Band, and the people that you're looking at on YouTube or the computer or you seeing play, they already here. And when I was coming up, we was like, I used to have to sneak and see some people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get the same because it's like they were like stars to me. It's for me first. Right. From my point of view, those guys were like stars. Like I get to see this person. Like it was like Travis. It was years before I saw Travis, but never spoke to Travis. But I saw him, see him, and I was like, man, this dude play for Jackson. So that was a big deal for me. You know what I'm saying? That's my input on it. I guess I've been saying it a lot. I guess it's I want to see it again, but the Memphis All-Star, I know it fell off bad because the intentions weren't good from a lot of different ways. And so, they kind of just phased that out. But, that'll be good to get it back, especially going into what we are now with this pandemic, slowing everything down, and a lot of stuff is going to be out of whack. You know what I'm saying? Like you got the kids that's in 6th grade now have never played a horn. I said, unless they already, doing it, but we'll have anybody, so it's a big gap that's about to happen here. So we got to tighten that thing up.
So a lot of them might have to be put into in a band fully functional back together.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of work.
Yeah. I'm like the team here. We already planning and thinking. I'm scheming, not scheming. That sound bad.
You said the right words. Scheming.
I ain't scheming like that. I'm very official. I don't do nothing. No, I ain't no backbone dude. I'm gonna do it straight up. But I'm planning and strategizing. That's the word I want to use. What we got to do going forward. So I got some stuff in mind. We gonna be all right. I know that we gonna be all right. But yeah. So cool. So we got the Mass Band. So let's speak on. We got this thing called Wu Phi Sigma that you're very very active in, along with a lot of guys here. Let's speak on with your work, with what you do with them, and how impactful that group is to the city. And I'm gonna say something in return to that also.
First off, before I say anything, major shout out to all bros, all sus, all friends, all over. Big shout out to Chief. I am currently the secretary of the Funky's Avenue chapter in Memphis, Tennessee. All pressure applied. At first, when Pops first brought it to me, I was like, no, I ain't trying to go through nothing else no more. I've been through enough. I done been through enough. Anybody that know my history, I have been through enough, but I done. But I finally decided to do it when Tracy, I love Tracy, shout out to Tracy, when Tracy told me, she was doing it and I saw Kadane and I didn't do it. When I saw my people do it, I was like, okay, I want to do it with y'all. One thing about me, I am big on, I am my brother's keeper. That's my biggest thing. I am my brother's keeper. Ever since then, I have been loving it. I love my line. I love my frat. I like my frat. Like, they my people. They my boys. Like, the frat within itself, it's so good to be able to branch out to other states, other cities. So if I go where I'm like, hey, yo, friend, I'm in your city. I'll say this, I'm gonna pick you up and meet me at such. Like, it's good to communicate with other people. It's a good thing. You learn about percussion, you learn about the history of percussion, you learn about different rudiments, anything dealing with percussion, you're gonna learn about it from a different genre, a different state. I learned so much since I joined the fraternity. It's ridiculous. I love it.
I would say this, especially about us being from Memphis, and kind of like everybody say, man, the Memphis band scene is this. Memphis, I brought it up. I talked to Chop about it. I just talked to him, just give him little stuff every now and again, and see if kind of work it out. But I'm gonna put it out there for me firsthand. One of the things I've noticed uh in the city, and a lot of people like, man, the Memphis band scene is not the same. It's not. And part of it is the people before this generation and before their generation, we kind of fell off in the giving back aspect as it pertains to supporting, being visual. One thing, a lot of people want to be certain things because they get to see it so much. I remember when Tennessee State, when I was young in school, Tennessee State guys used to have their sweaters, and they had all this different stuff on it. And I'm like, man, what's that? And it's attractive. It make you look. And so we have, so many different music organizations that are in the city and around the city that should be doing a whole lot. They can be doing, not everybody, because there are people that support uh in and all the time. But it's a lot more people can do to support Memphis events and Memphis students and be seen. You don't have to necessarily say, I'm like, I got to go work with somebody to support it. No, all you got to do is just show up when people have stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even me personally, I try to go to everybody event. Whether I feel, if I feel a certain way about my person or not, I'm gonna go support just so it can have, people can have, just so your event can continue to flow. Like, I'm gonna do my part, my 1%. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, it's a lot of guys, the Booth guys. I'm not knocking nobody, but do more as far as like attendance. The 10 group, they should be everywhere. Whenever it's a bad event, flooding. You got KK side flooded. Phi Mu Alpha flooded. You know what I'm saying? It's too many band organizations and groups around to not flood all these events and get the kids to seeing them and getting, so they don't have to, because a lot of kids are kind of, they got their eyes in all these other different places. They see more money, people still flashing money, what I'm saying, flashing gun. They see that, and so that's attractive to them. And so if you want this thing to keep going, we got to make it attractive again. And it takes, what I'm saying, wearing your shirts. That's why I like when you do Why Battle of Drummers, If you got your band shirt, if your group in and your band shirt on, you ain't paying full price. Why? Because I want the more people you get,
Mm-hmm.
eyes you gonna get. You get your little brothers and sisters, you get them to come around. You know what I'm saying? So it's appealing because we fight an uphill battle now with social media with all these different. Not knocking nobody, rappers and uh everybody doing all this everything else, but we don't have anything to push what we want to do. You got athletics pushing athletics. You got the streets pushing the streets. Who pushing band right now? That's what they moved
No.
Drumline did for us. Drumline number one pushed band, and they put it on a big scale. And that's what we need to find. I don't care who do it. It ain't about who do it first. It's just about getting it done because it's at the end of the day, it's gonna benefit everybody. So, for me, make sure we're visual. Everybody, yeah, people like my wife get mad at me. She's like, "Why you hanging up them shirts like it's part of your wardrobe?" I don't know. I'm hanging. I got all my white haven shirts, my Kahoma shirts. I got them on hangers hanging up. Like I got to pick you up that commercial with the chick. Like, oh, let me figure out what I'm wearing today, and it's all the same thing. I got all gray shirts, all these white shirts, black shirts. You know, so them just all there. Like so, it's like a part of advertisement. What you brand what you want to get seen, and so we can do better. And I think we should do better when we get back started as to pushing and supporting and pushing our groups, pushing. WT do it all the time. That's why y'all get some. That's what y'all do to get so many drummers. Cause I'm even when the section was supposed to come one year, and they couldn't make it. Some came up, and Mr. Little like, man, bro, we can't make it. I think the blue and white game got scheduled the same day. He was trying all the way up to the end, like, man, if we leave at a certain time, we can get there. And he was like, you know what, man, we just can't do it. I said, it's all good. He said, no, it ain't. I gotta have representation there. So that man sent, I forgot his name. He actually died. He was what was his job? I forgot his name. It's in my phone, but he died. But he came out and did the little booth for one of the years of the Battle of Drummers, and one of the shirts that's on the table was War and Thunder. You know what I'm saying? You pushing your groups, and the eyes are there. You see Jack State, you see WT. You know what I'm saying? So y'all do it all the time, and that's for everybody. Every squad. If you want people to come, promote your stuff, push your stuff, man. So that's
I
one
want
of
to
my
say I know who you're talking about.
yeah, it's in my phone. When I heard he died, I think he got shot. I don't
I
know.
know who you're talking about. I know who you're
Yeah,
talking about.
it's a little sent him here just to have representation, and that's what I'm doing. Even with Kahoma, we got to go to. Well, I got to go to Georgia for an event. You know what I'm saying? Just push the stuff, man. Even with the Talladega, like everybody's seeing Talladega grow because Talladega people
They
are pushing.
that man
You know what I'm saying?
he promoted their band
Yeah.
to the utmost.
Right, and that's what we got to do to reach the next generation, reach the community, reach the kids that's out here. I'm giving that's some good information I'm giving. I hope somebody watching and paying attention, right? So, like, push your stuff, man. Push these frats, push these organizations, push these clubs, push these fraternities, HBCU fraternities, Divine Nine, push all of them, man. Push that stuff so these kids can see it's something bigger than the streets because a lot of people that play drums, they always the story, man. Drum saved my life. Drum kept me out of this. Drum came out of that. And even some guys that played drums, they got away from it. Once they lost, they went when that phased out for them. They went back into the streets, and everything doesn't pan out for them. So
Yeah,
push
yeah.
music programs, push your groups to make it appealing because it was cool to me. My love, if I can find a picture, I'll put it in this video of a sweater from somebody from TSU, the wrist scratch. Man, that joint is so fresh to me. I love that sweater. I never got one. I just never got it made. But that joint's so fresh to me. And it made you wanna see what it was about. It made you inquire
Yeah,
about it. So you
yeah.
seeing games, they inquiring about it because the mind always going. So I want to make that a good movement for us to push everything musically.
Basically, push the positive things and not all this club and parties It's cool to turn up, but it's getting to be a part of the organization. Do what you have to do as far as social events, not social events, working events. You need to work the events first so you can have fun later. Work, then turn up.
Yeah. And let's speak about your shirt. I know what it is, but speak about your shirt you got on.
This shirt is a memorial representation of Cujo and J-Dub. Both of them died in the same year. I met J-Dub one time. Pretty cool. Love you can tell somebody love their section. I'm gonna say that. You can tell when somebody love their section. And he was one of those old school old heads. Man, I did this back when I came. This how you supposed to do it. This how you supposed to do it. I was like, Lord, Jesus, I play cymbals, sir. I don't know. Like, I play cymbals. But Cujo, God rest his soul. I miss that boy so much. Gone too soon. Definitely gone too soon. And when it happened, I never knew how much. I take that back. I never knew many people knew who each one of us in that section until he passed. He had love from a lot of universities. And that boy within general, at his funeral, I've never seen so many kids. Never. People in general. Like, I love his mom. I love his brothers. That was something.
Yeah.
Before homecoming, that was something.
Yeah. So shout out to Cujo. Rest in peace, man. I remember when I first saw him. I was in Jackson for something. I think I want to say. I think Jim Hill was hosting something at that stadium back there, and I went to it to support because we couldn't make it. So I went out there to support the event, and that was my first time seeing Christian and Cujo. And Cujo was short, but that man was all like, Christian was tall, and I'm like, man, what? I told John, I'm like, bro, where you get these big kids? I'm like, I got some big dudes, but these dudes big, you know what I'm saying? So it was him and Cujo, the little old jungle. Little Popeye, man. That boy had some arms on him, man. He was
that boy got some arms to take a life away. Do you hear me? And just honestly, he is a light-skinned version of Shaq to me. No, nobody that just really knows Cujo and knows Shaq personally. He is a light-skinned version of Shaq to me. That boy loves his drum. And if he can hump it, he'll hump it. If he can hump that bass drum, he'll hump that bass drum.
Yeah.
That boy was serious. That boy was something serious.
Yeah, cool. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to Cujo. Rest in peace to Cujo and the other guy. I didn't hear his name. I don't really know him. So
J-Dub.
Okay. Rest in peace to both of those guys.
Funky folk.
Yeah, I played bass drum too. Okay. Well, let me say this. When neither one of them mess with me, I put it like that.
All right, man. Don't make me go to the heavens on you now. Don't make me go to the heavens on you.
It's all good. I'm just messing. Not for real, but I'm just playing. No, it's cool. But listen, man, I appreciate you for swinging by and hanging out with me and dropping some of this good old history and listening to your stories. Very, very good. Pushing for the females out there. Shout out to you for that.
I'm glad I could do that. You have no idea how many people ask me these questions you have asked me. So now They can look.
Hey, look, all you gotta do is refer them to VRoc Chops. Tell them subscribe to their channel, and all your questions will be answered on episode 15.
I already did. You saw me promote. Anybody know me know I am a promoter.
Yeah,
they know that's what I do. So
for sure.
I'm gonna try to get in, hop onto it, and go from there.
For sure. I appreciate you. I appreciate you stopping on. So,
Anytime.
we're gonna wrap this thing up. We did a good little hour. Okay, that's cool. So, I appreciate you stopping by, man. If you want to be reached, how can people find you?
You can follow me on Facebook. That's Kayla Poindexter. You can follow me on Instagram at BWA, literally Breadwinner Association, BWA. Dot little bit LILBIT. That's on all social media. BWA. Dot little bit.
Cool.
DJ got it.
Yeah, she definitely DJ. I got mad at you one time. We was at Fairy Girl we were performing. And you got on the mic and said, "Don't you knock my speaker over, boy."
You better watch my speaker, boy.
I was so mad. I'm like, don't you say that? They could have threw him off. I was that mad though. A little bit, not for real.
He was close.
I know
hey, everybody know how tenor drummers are. Once
Yeah.
they get into and they get to swinging,
Yeah.
it's over with.
Forget your show, boy. You better watch this equipment that y'all ain't gonna pay for now. It's all good. It's all
man.
Yeah. But cool, I appreciate you stopping by, sis.
Anytime.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna get you back again. We're gonna get some more stuff going. So until next time, people, always remember the chops don't stop. Peace out. Don't
This is VRoc Chops.